Hey RATBAGGERS, it's Jade. Today I'm going to show you how to get an absolute ton of gold, red carpet blocks and make yourself a good cup of joe with the coffee brewery and the coffee roaster recipes, as well as the free coffees you can make and whether or not they're actually worth it. Starting at the ancient spire, we're going to be going over to the northwest of the map, in fact pretty much the edge of the Veilwater Basin, to a place called Little Lagoon, and that will lead us to Stillwater Bay. If you haven't upgraded your flame to level 9, it will be red shrouded area. Other notable things here are indeed an ancient obelisk, as well as another Drac temple, and there is a abandoned smuggler's hideout which has got some pretty good loot in it as well. And pretty close by there is the lighthouse you just saw, so we'll be exploring that as well, as that's where one of the switches is to the treasure door. So when you're gliding over here, you'll come to this very picturesque lagoon, and you should notice there is a sand path leading up to the bridge in the town that you should be able to see in the distance. Follow it all the way along and you'll notice you can climb on the wall, and this is the entrance to the treasure room. Now, I originally did this live and it took me 2 whole streams, about 5 hours, I kid you not, as well as some other little quests trying to find all of the coffee recipes as well as the switches. So I didn't want to make you sit through that, so I went and re-recorded it again, this time once it refreshed. If you want to just ignore all that and try and pickaxe your way through, you can do. Otherwise, the first switch is on this tower here, which you can grapple up to, go around, jump across, and you will notice an opening with the switch inside. So obviously go and activate it, and that's 1 of 4 switches we need to find. It's worth noting, alongside the other tower connecting with the broken bridge, there will be a save checkpoint, but I highly advise that you actually build your own base sorter so that you can fast travel here really quickly, as you probably take maybe 2 adventures into this place to complete all of the switches and find all of the coffee recipes. So with that in mind, step on the edge here near to the crane, and directly below you in Stillwater town, fire an arrow over here, and you can see that's exactly where we want to land, because this is going to be the next switch. There are plenty of fel around, so yes, you're going to have to take care of them. I'm not making one of these guides where there's no enemies. There's quite a few ranged, as well as some of the heavily armoured ones too. Once they've taken care of, you'll see the wheel here with another crane, and we're actually going to head down. You can see there's a climbable wall. Just drop down, and then you'll be in a small little courtyard underneath a big net. Pay attention to this wall over here, as it's a secret passageway. It'll take you into a little room, and then there should be a hatchway down below that will take you to the second switch. Go ahead and obviously get the loot, and you'll notice you can smash open these boards. You'll also pick up a captain's coat, which is a small little mission you pick up from a note that you'll find in one of the town notice boards. If you break through, you can see there's lots of lava. You can go back on yourself and just get up a little bit higher, as you do need to get across the lava to the next switch. But yeah, you might not want to risk it from that such low place. Hop on top of the rubble and keep going on top of this house here on the left hand side. Be careful not to go into the main square that's just on the other side of this building, as there's some pretty powerful enemies, some of the sickle fells as well. If you climb here, you'll notice there's a dock area and there's a small little watchtower. Be careful, because the big chunky flying boys will start attacking you, as they seem to home in even if you've not really gone too close to them, and you will need a lockpick, otherwise a pickaxe, to break through and activate the next switch, which is just inside that watch house. Activate the switch, and we're now on to the last one, and it is indeed on the lighthouse that you can see in the distance here. It's worth pointing out, if you go underneath the arch towards the very far edge of the bay, you will encounter one of the giant fel, and it's pretty tough, brutal boss fight, as well as obviously all the tentacles. That's why I kind of recommend doing this in stages. Just go and pick up all the switches first, and then come back for the challenge of taking on lots of the enemies as well. So if you head to the south side of the town, there'll be a path, and immediately as you progress, there's a path or sand path on the right hand side that will take you up towards the lighthouse. Follow it all the way round, and you will have to deal with some Dracs. There's 3 or 4 of them, as well as one of the big giant ones inside the lighthouse itself. So once they're all dead, you can actually go down to the basement, and that's the 4th and final switch. Again, just make sure you've got plenty of lockpicks on you, or a strong enough pickaxe. Obviously, you can keep exploring the lighthouse. There'll be some lore notes and stuff. There is a couple of chests worth maybe picking up. And if you climb all the way to the top of the lighthouse, you can jump over, as long as you've got enough, obviously, stamina. Head over to the big large island and you'll be able to drop down onto the entrance into the treasure hall. And yeah, you can live out your small, fantasies if you want to be a big dragon laying on his gold, and obviously go into the chest to get the red carpet blocks. You'll also notice there's a rubble wall that you can break open, and inside there'll be another chest too. So a good chance of getting loot, and this is really repeatable. That's why it's maybe worth going through the pain of digging through some of the stone near the door so that you can just come in here really quickly once it's been a few days for it to respawn. Go ahead and repair your weapons, maybe go back and drop off some of your stuff, your gear you found. Now I'm going to show you where the coffee recipes are. And of course the machinery to make them. Now Stillwater is still very challenging, there are lots of enemies, especially the toughest one which we're going to come up against in a second. So I do recommend using your aerial abilities to basically skip taking a lot of the enemies on and head over to this tower. If you get it just right, you can obviously land inside the opening here. And this is where you'll pick up both of the coffee machines you'll need. The coffee drum roaster and the actual brewery itself. A bit mean, they don't have the coffee recipe for the black coffee just here, but I'm going to show you where it is. There's 3 coffee recipes that you can use, and they'll give you boosts to your stamina as well as your different abilities in combat. So yeah, go ahead and make your way down the tower, and you'll see this bridge here. If you actually turn around behind you, inside there will be the black coffee recipe. But look out, because that sickle fell will start attacking you. So maybe try to be a bit more sneaky. Otherwise, you could end up maybe roasting yourself. Again, I'm going to fly back over to the 2 tallest towers, jumping on top of this one again. And since I don't really want to alert the fell again, I'm going to go ahead and mine my way through. Like I said, it should be that little bridge leads into this tower, and you should be able to pick up the black coffee recipe on the table just here. If you go all the way down, you'll find one of the mushroom head guys, and I know I'm giving these guys all the wrong names, but this is what I call them. It is worth thinning out the crowd, because you'd be surprised how some of the other fell will start attacking you. This little gap here, it's a really good spot to go ahead and start cheesing some of these, as long as the sickle fell hasn't spotted you. So once you've cleared out the square of the tentacles and maybe any other fell, it's time to take on this monstrosity. With the skull attacks she does, they're relatively easy to dodge. The actual sickles themselves, they have to be dodged at the very last minute, otherwise you can try blocking. Obviously high stamina I think is good, particularly for me. Obviously if you're a bit more of a tanky class or mage class, well, you do you. But yeah, you really want to be dodging at the very last minute from these, or doing your best to tank the hits. Now once she's dead, then we can actually look around this little square. This is where we're going to find the coffee recipes we need. So if you look to the west in the square, you'll notice some lava running through these 2 houses. If you jump up on this ledge here and then jump here, go to the right, and you'll notice a small stairway which is really easy to miss, and this is where you're going to go ahead and find the next coffee recipe, which will give you, it should do at least, the latte recipe. Obviously you can explore all of this town if you want to go and find even more hidden chests, but I really am just focusing on the coffee and the switches. When you're ready, make sure you get on top of some of the houses, the wreckage and ruins, and again look towards the north now. On the right hand side you can see the mushroom bridge. That's where we first jumped over the lava when we found one of the switches. If you keep following this route that I'm showing you right now and hop down, you'll also notice there's another secret wall switch that will lead you outside to a courtyard, but we want the 3rd and final coffee recipe. There'll be another loot chest to go and get, and on the table will be the sweet mocha. Now if you haven't actually come across any coffee beans yet, there's a good farm that's got lots of them. Head slightly to the northwest of Dragon Dream Lake, looking for a place called Winter's Brew Farm. You'll notice obviously the big windmill, and inside there'll be plenty of coffee beans, and obviously this will unlock the coffee seedling so that you can go ahead and grow your own. So obviously just go and gather them. Again, these are obviously respawn after a few days, or it did for me. And while you're here, it is worth checking out the actual windmill itself. There'll be a chest. Break through the outhouse next door, and there will be a shaft dropping down with a few rats to take care of. Break through again, and you will notice this overgrowth. Hack your way through, and there'll be a small little tunnel taking you to another chest. And yeah, don't forget to go ahead and chop the coffee trees down, as you've got more chance of picking up some of the beans if they've got the coffee berries on them. Now to make the coffee machines you need, obviously head over to your farmer. You need 20 wood planks, a small steel barrel, 4 gold dust and 10 palm leaves to make the roaster. And that's the first step in getting your coffee drinks. Then roast them with palm wood logs. It does take 6 minutes though to craft some, and yeah, it costs 10 coffee beans plus 2 palm wood logs to make 3 roasted coffee beans. Then it's over to your grind mill, the new one that's been added with the Vale Water Basin, and go ahead and grind it using Vale Water Basin sand. I don't know why, maybe that's a thing. It costs 3 roasted coffee beans and 3 of the sand, and you'll get 3 of the ground coffee beans back. If you haven't unlocked the grind mill yet, I have done a video guide on how to do it and basically find everything you need to know. And back over to the brewery, you're going to need 20 wood planks, 5 steel bars, 10 gold dust and 10 palm leaves to go ahead and make it. And then recipe for black coffee is 5 water, 5 ground coffee and 5 gold coins. That better be tip included. It'll give you 30 plus stamina and 6% extra melee damage and lasts for 55 minutes. The latte is going to be 5 water, 3 milk, 5 gold coins again and 5 ground coffee beans, 30 stamina again but 6% magic damage. And sweet mocha, you're going to need some sugar, same resources as I've just mentioned, and instead you'll get 30 stamina plus 6 range damage and 6 dagger damage. So there's definitely foods that give you better stamina regen, better definitely damage output. That combination of 30 stamina plus some of that as well inside a liquid, I think it's pretty decent. And if you're clearing out Stillwater because you want to go and get the red carpet blocks, then you might as well pick up the rest of the coffee stuff too. Although it does seem a bit pointless to have full-blown brand new crafting stations that literally only do one job. But there you go, that's it. If you like this video, if you found it useful, leave a like, check out the rest of my Enshrouded guides, and I'll see you at Bags for more soon. Bye bye.